video is brought to you by G2A.com for cheap games, MSP and PSN codes. Hey guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here. Welcome to another 2022 World Cup Future World Cup Teams video, and today we are going to be taking a look at Italy. Of course, Italy, another one of the bigger national teams and one of the teams that you expect to perform and to do well and to be competitive at every single World Cup. Obviously, they've got a very rich history at the World Cup and they've got some great, absolutely fantastic World Cup teams in the past. So will this 2022 World Cup team be able to match or even sort of compete with any of those teams before? Well, the time to find that out is right now. Here is, ladies and gentlemen, the Italian national football team in 2022. And as it pops up now, we can see it's another very, very good international team. Obviously, not the best team that we've seen compared to everyone else that we've done in the series, but still a very, very good side. Obviously, everyone's 80 plus rated, a very good goalkeeper, a very good central midfielder in Verratti, although everyone else in that department seems to be a little bit not as great, low 80s compared to the 89. Another very, very good goalkeeper there, decent defense, decent bench as well. They're all 80 plus, which is good to see, and you can't complain with that. And then again, going down to the reserves, we see some other good players, Giglio, and unfortunately not being able to get to that potential, but still the other players there that are just getting in just around that 80 rating as well. But it's an absolutely sensational side with a couple of absolutely fantastic players, a couple of standouts like Colombi, who is absolutely ridiculous, and again just picking Cerchi's spot to that starting 11, and that's absolutely sensational. And again, we've got Verratti, 89 rated, a bunch of great players in there, and then some obviously decent mid 80s to low 80s remaining starting 11 players. However, for Italy, I feel like that was maybe, it's obviously fantastic for any other country, but for Italy, I felt like they could have maybe gone a step ahead. I don't know if there were certain players that just didn't get to their potential, but even though they've definitely fielded a very good side, maybe not a World Cup winning side, maybe if they have a really good run, you never know, but I felt like they maybe could have done a little bit better. I mean, this is Italy we're talking about, but still, maybe they're just not really being as rated as fairly with their potentials for some of their players. But either way, you can't deny that is still a sensational side with some great players. Obviously, a few players have retired and missed out, but still, it's a great team. And now, without further ado, we're going to get into a quick game again against China. We play so many games against the same freaking teams, but still, it's just the one game that we play anyway in this series. And Italy have definitely been able to field a great side, and definitely there are some young players that have come up, got to a very good overall, that are around their potential or maybe even a bit higher than it, depending on how well they did. Although most of the time it is just around or a bit below. However, that man, the captain, Verratti, he's done an unbelievable job, and the absolute fucking tank of a goalkeeper. We can't even see his chin. I mean, the camera angles are absolutely fucked in this bloody international thing. We can't see any of their faces, EA Sports. What are you doing? But still, moving on. Italy have put together a great side. They've put together a fantastic team with a couple of young players that have now grown up and gotten to great ratings. Like, I'm especially looking at their centre backs, Romagnoli and Rugani, who have gotten up to their mid 80s overall and definitely could go even higher given their potential. It's sensational to see how good their players are and how many younger players that they do have in there, which is important because you think of their Italian national team now and how many of their players are just older, veteran seniors that have really gotten on. Like, you've got Chiellini, you've got, of course, Buffon, who's now surely got to be gone as well. There's no way he'd be like 42, 43 and still bossing it. Something tells me that they probably wouldn't be anyway. And you've also got a bunch of others like Barzagli, who's gone, Marchisio, who's gone, Pirlo, obviously, he's gone. You've got Thiago Motta, as a goal scored there by Daniele Rugani with a scissor kick. Of all players that you would expect to score that, the centre-back pulls it out. That's absolutely crazy. But hey, you give him that sort of space, he'll get creative, he'll get fancy, and bang, he smashes it. Their keeper can't stop it. It's too powerful, and I think it takes him by surprise. You expect a centre-back to pull that out in a World Cup, in a game where the fucking shit is hitting the fan and everything is on the line, probably billions of people watching you, and you fucking pull that out. That's absolutely crazy. But anyway, it's, fair effort. But Daniele Rugani, who's obviously in the side for his defending, pulling out that piece of business. But anyway, moving on to more players that have obviously just missed out, who have either gotten older and retired or dropped off. You've got Daniele Rossi as well, or De Rossi as well, Daniele De Rossi, and obviously other players like, I don't know, let's think, Francesco Totti, who is like, 40 years of age now anyway, so he's probably not going to make it. Just a bunch of players that just go on. But hey, as we somehow failed to score that goal, we came so close, as it just cannons down off the crossbar and just misses. It's absolutely insane. But still, China had a little attempt of their own from a corner, got the pretty decent ball in, and we ended up losing a header. But it was a brilliant save by our keeper, but they got it on the rebound, at which point he just failed to move at all. He just stood perfectly still, which was bizarre. But anyway, Getting back to the point I was talking about, there are definitely a lot of very older Italian players in their side right now. So it's definitely a very new look Italian team. Absolutely, in this 2022, we do see a lot of the same players getting into the team, even 6 years or 7 years on. As again, we go back in front right in the 45th minute with Gabbiadini, which is fantastic to see. But anyway, moving on. Where is that Gabbiadini? I don't know. I missed it. I didn't exactly see who scored the goal, but still, moving on. We have got, we've gotten the lead back. But yeah, like again, we do see some very similar teams, not always 100% or anything like that, but we do see a lot of players that are in the team right now. The majority of players that are playing for their national side right now in 2022 in this series, but still, this time it's a very, very different team from what I can tell. But either way, Gabbiadini goes in, scores a third one. That's absolutely fantastic. But anyway, now that I've talked a little bit about some of the players that have missed out, some of the older players that have stopped and retired or whatever, we'll talk a little bit about some of the younger players that I thought were a bit unlucky to miss out, like Matteo Perin, who's like a super high-rated goalkeeper who unfortunately missed out somehow. I thought he really failed with his potential, and again, we've just snuck it off him straight away from kickoff. Goes for the volley. Oh my God, in Immobile or whatever it is. Scores a fourth for Italy. I nearly called him Italian. I don't even know what the hell's going on. I'm focusing on too many things. Let's just get back to some of the players that I thought should have made the side, given their potential, but just missed out. Obviously, Perrin is one. Daniele Verde, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but again, another player with great potential that just missed out. Scufford as well, the goalkeeper that has been a legend in career mode for a couple of seasons now, maybe 2 or 3 maybe. Obviously, the Juventus loaned out, or the Udinese, goalkeeper now loaned out, but he didn't make it. Bernardeschi as well, who's another one. Mario Balotelli, we got to talk about him. He unfortunately missed out as Bonaventura scores a 5th goal in the 90th minute. They've absolutely smashed it out of nowhere, Italy, but still. And I'm trying to think of another one. Of course, a player that's not in career mode right now, but you know he's surely the future of Italian goalkeeping. And of course, Gianluigi Donnarumma, who is just unreal for AC Milan. 16 years of age, and he's bossing it right now. Probably maybe 17. His birthday would have been quite recent by the time you see this video, but still, he would probably be the goalkeeper surely. But I tell you what, this Colombi, 89 rated, he's got some competition if that is the case. But either way, they've turned it on in the final couple of minutes, scoring 5 goals in this game. They've absolutely smashed it. They've got a great side together, but that is the Italian national team in 2022. Thank you guys so much for watching another 2022 Future World Cup Teams video. Don't forget to leave in the comments down below any other teams or any other national sides that you want me to do the series with. Again, there are plenty of other very big teams and big nations to do it with, or are there maybe some more obscure nations that you maybe want me to try out? But either way, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and have a good one. Bye-bye.